Golfers, today's subject in our little heart-to-heart chat that we're going to have is going to be on the subject of mind chatter. So mind chatter is something that's very important to discuss and to have an open conversation about. It's something that people don't feel particularly comfortable talking about, is the mental side of the game. But unfortunately, what I see in people's performance in golf is it's not always directly related to their skill level, and often we blame poor technique for poor golf. So let's talk about where mind chatter comes from. So mind chatter can come from us feeling pretty nervous about playing with particular people, or feel like being nervous about playing a particular shot. Mind chatter can also come from previous experiences where we don't want to go into a particular area. Perhaps we've been hitting a particular shot. We don't want to replicate that shot. But quite often, mind chatter arises because our mind is too stuck in what has happened or what is about to happen. Now, unfortunately, we can't control the result. We can, however, control what our mindset is like. So what I would implore you to do is, firstly, really try to stay present as you are out there on the golf course. Now, a little process that I do for this is that after every shot I play, I take my glove off and I put it in my back pocket, and then I use that as my trigger to stop that kind of forwards thinking or past thinking about what has just happened. That really allows me to calm myself, to feel like I've got less tension. The next thing, and where I see mind chatter really does come alive, I suppose, is that when we are approaching our shot, generally speaking, we really get out of routine. We get out of sync. We start racing to try to hit the golf shot. It's very important that we stay true to our routine, that we stick with what works for us, and we repeat that process every single time. Now, there's two parts to this. Firstly, there's our pre-shot routine, and then secondly, there's our post-shot routine. With pre-shot routine, when people have lots of mind chatter going on, what happens is they make poor decisions. Not necessarily poor execution, although the poor decisions generally lead to poor execution, but they'll be standing there and they won't be clear on their target. They won't be clear on what club they're using. They won't really have taken the time to understand all of the facts and to make a really good decision before they actually get to the execution phase of their golf swing. The second part to mind chatter is the post-shot routine. What happens in the post-shot routine? Well, they hit their shot, they'll generally get upset very quickly. They'll start banging their clubs on the ground, or they might start swearing, or they might do a whole range of different things. Or they might not do any of those particular things, but they might just start to get really internal, very, very down on themselves. So when we finish our shot, it is always better to stay very neutral about the results that we've just had. Otherwise, what we'll do is we'll start blaming our golf swing, or we'll blame the environment, or we'll just start getting very anxious, very tense around that situation. So to summarize, mind chatter, best practice for you, make sure that you have a very clear pre-shot routine, have a very neutral post-shot routine, and make sure that when you're on the golf course that you stay in the present.